The day didn't start out real right for the A's as McLemore and Chavez had back-to-back singles with one out in the first inning, but when Hatterberg lined out to first to Delgado, McLemore was caught way off second base, doubled up, and the A's got nothing out of that. Then Mulder gave up a single to Reed Johnson to start the bottom half of the first inning. With one out, he walked Vernon Wells on 4 pitches. Not a real good idea when the next hitter is Carlos Delgado. And Delgado rifled a single, and that loaded the bases. And at this point, Alex Rios was the hitter, the young right fielder, trying to get something home. And a bouncing ball hit softly to third, taken by Chavez on the bag, steps on third. The only choice he has, he gets the force out, but the Jays get the run. Had it been hit more crisply, he would have had a chance to step on the bag and throw to first, but it's a very slow bouncer. And so the runner scores from third. That's Johnson, 1-0 Toronto. And it could have been more when Frankie Menechino rifled a sizzling single past Mulder on the mound. But as Delgado tried to score in a move from second base, he was thrown out on a close play at the plate that drew a protest from the Blue Jays, but to no avail. And as a result, the inning ended with the A's down by only a run. In the third inning, Bobby Crosby gave hope for something going for the A's, lining a double high off the wall in left field. But things really went out of control on the base path when Mark Kotsay came to the plate.
And now out of the stretch, and the pitch to Kotsay is dribbled back to the mound. They got Crosby in a rundown now. Batista running him toward third. Here's the throw to Menechino. Menechino runs in toward the shortstop Woodward. He applies the tag, and now they got Kotsay hung up. The throw to Delgado. Kotsay falls down, and Delgado tags him out. And 2 outs on that play on a comebacker hit by Kotsay.
And by that time, Ken Maka might have wondered just what was going on out on the base paths. In the bottom of the third, Wells came up with 1 out, and a runner at first base hit a ground ball to McLemore, and McLemore juggled the ball just as he got ready to make the throw and start a possible double play. That was just enough to cross the double play, and in the end it cost a run because who was the next hitter? Mr. Delgado.
Mulder's 2-2 pitch is swung on, ripped to left center, up the alley. That's going to go to the wall. Wells rounding second, going to third. Kotsay plays it back. Wells around third, and here's the throw, and it's not nearly in time. A 2-base hit to left center by Carlos Delgado, and it's 2-0 Toronto.
And the A's got a runner right off the bat in the fourth inning. Was when Batista gave up a base on balls to Chavez. As I mentioned, the A's eventually walked 10 times in this ball game today. Hatterberg lined out to right field, and Durazo, with the overshift they're using on him right now, was up. Orlando Hudson, the second baseman, plays way out in short right field and well over toward the first baseline. And once again, base running was at fault.
And the 0-1 is a line drive. Hudson makes a leaping play and throws back to first for a double play to double off Chavez. 3 double plays so far, and none of the conventional variety. 3 double plays in the first 4 at-bats for the A's. And we go to the bottom of the fourth, 2-0 Toronto.
When the A's loaded the bases in the 5th inning with 1 out, it looked like Kotsay had solved all those problems, but that didn't take into account Vernon Wells. Next one on the way. Swan lined into center field, but coming on, Wells goes into a slide, makes the catch, fires into second, and sliding back safe is McMillan. A nice play by Vernon Wells on a hard-hit, sinking liner to center field. Made the sliding catch for out number 2.
Almost got a double play on McMillan, and Damian Miller actually went halfway between third and home instead of going back maybe to tag and think about trying to score on that play.
But still, McLemore was up there next, had a chance to try to get the A's on the board. 2-2 the count. Again from the belt to 2-2. He struck him out swinging and missing. Batista really poured that one through, and McLemore couldn't catch up to it, and the A's leave the bases full in the 5th. After 4.5, 2-0 Toronto. Batista picked his spot to get his first and only strikeout of the day, a very big one, leaving the A's stranding 3 runners. In the 6th inning, he got 2 quick outs, but then lost the strike zone. Durazo walked, and so did Burns, and Damian Miller was the hitter. And he deals it again, and Miller hits one to right. Pretty well hit down toward the corner. Rios going back, looking up. He reaches and can't get it. Here comes Durazo in with a run. Speeding to the plate is Burns. He scores standing. And in with a 2-run double is Miller. Down to the right field corner. and we have a 3-2 ball game with Toronto in front in the 6th inning. Then Mulder came out to try to shut it down in the bottom of the 6th, but Menachino jumped on the first pitch and hit another sizzler past Mulder into center for a base hit. After Woodward struck out, the rookie catcher Kevin Cash, a 193 hitter with 2 strikeouts in the game, was up. But Mulder, as had been the case at different times earlier in the game, got behind in the count. 2-0. Swung. There's a long drive. Hit to left center field deep. And still going. And gone. Kevin Cash, a 193 hitter, gets in a hitter's count 2-0 and blasts his 4th home run of the year. And so the Jays are back to a 3-run lead, 5-2. And Batista kept that lead through 7 innings. When the A's came up in the 8th, they were working against right-hander Vinny Chalk, who caught the spirit of the act for the day by the staff of the Jays. He walked Chavez to start the inning. Hatterberg stepped in.
Here's the 1-0 by Chalk. Ripped down the right field line. It's a fair ball rolling into the corner. Chavez is rounding second. He's going to third. Rios will play it back. Chavez holds at third on a double by Hatterberg. And the A's are set up second and third with nobody out.
Durazo, with the infield back, took advantage of that, grounded out. That brought Chavez in to make it a 5-3 game and put Hatterberg at third with Eric Burns at the plate.
Hatterberg off the bag at third. And here's the 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball in the dirt. Gets away from Cash. Hatterberg down the line. And he will score without a throw. And it's a 1-run game. It's now 5-4. So on an 0-2 pitch, that one gets away from Cash.
After Mulder's 6 innings, Rincon, Bradford, and Hammond worked through the 8th inning, keeping the score the same. And as we went to the 9th, the A's were facing Jason Frazier, who had come in to get the final out in the 8th inning after the A's had scored those 2 runs. And immediately things began to cook up against him. McMillan jumped on the first pitch for a double to the wall in left center field, was replaced by Nick Swisher as the pinch runner bearing the tying run. When Crosby was hit by a pitch, the go-ahead run was also aboard, and Kotze perfectly sacrificed them up to second and third. McLemore was the hitter, and a lot happened in this at-bat. First, this. And a curve gets by. Going to the backstop. Swisher sprints home, scores, standing, and we're tied in the 9th inning at 5-5. The second run scored by the A's today on a wild pitch.
And that one got right through Cash like it was a cross-up, Phil.
Then McLemore got the count to 2-2. Swung on. There's a high drive to deep right center field. Should be more than enough to score the run. Wells has it. Sprinting for the plate. Crosby scores, and the A's have taken the lead 6-5 on McLemore's sacrifice fly. But Frazier could not get the out he needed. He walked Chavez. And then Hatterberg singled Chavez to third. Runners at the corners. Frazier by now working at a snail's pace, as if he wished he never had to make the next pitch. He did. He eventually walked Durazo. And he and Burns dueled for seemingly an eternity. It was 3-1, then it was 3-2, and then the runners go to 3-2, line to left field hard. Johnson can't get it over his head. One hops the wall, 1 run in, 2 runs in, 3 runs are in, and the A's lead by a score of 9-5 as Eric Burns clears the bases with a double on a 3-2 pitch with 2 out in the top of the 9th. And with the save situation no longer in order in the bottom half, Dotel stayed in the bullpen. Hammond finished it out, giving up a harmless hit, and picked up his 4th win of the year. Time now to announce our